Hello, 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 everyone, once again, and welcome to Sunday Community Skirmish number 19 on this fantastic Sunday of Guns of Icarus online action. We are getting our first game going here soon, but just to give you a recap of our overview, I should say, of what's going to be happening today. We had 7 teams originally. Unfortunately, one of them had to drop after the brackets were already made. That is why you see on the screen currently where the Mad Hatters have been given a win over the Praetorians, so they will go to face Cake in one of the semifinals. But we have 2 other matches going on in this first round. The Riders and the Glowwater Thralls are going to face off against each other with the Tea Timers and 404 as the match that we are going to be watching on this stream here. Of course, once again, if you want to watch the other streams, or if you are a Russian viewer, we do have a Russian stream now. We've had it for a while, but you can watch all that over at robanddan.tv/live once more. So if you wanna get all the different matches that you can, go ahead and watch from there. But you should totally listen to this one, because this is the best one. Totally. All right, guys, we are going to get into this Gents team, the Tea Timers, of course. Basically, anytime you see a team name with something that has to do with tea, it's probably going to be the Gents. And 404, I was going to say originally that it's a newish clan, but they've been around for quite a while. They've been participating in a lot of these Sunday community skirmishes, and even though they weren't able to participate in the league, the Festus Challenge, which ended a while ago now actually, but they were not able to sign up for that in time, so they've mostly been just using these Sunday community skirmishes week after week as their romping grounds, trying to work themselves up to be a force to be reckoned with. And we are gonna get our first few readies thrown down already. Of course, this is a Sunday community skirmish, and on that note, we do have best of 3s going on. We do have a time limit as well of 15 minutes per match, but there is a pool of overtime time to use from. I think it's about 20 minutes. So if you use 10 minutes in your first overtime match, you only have 10 minutes left for your possibly other 2 matches to play. All right, Tranquil Tea, Swift Paw ready and on up. We're still waiting for Zingy Zhao, Log Heli, and Nusi. Most of these names are actually fairly new. So one of the things that the Sunday Community Skirmish is known for and used for is training new members. It's a very low-key kind of tournament. There's nothing really on the line. There's no long stretching thing on the line. It's just an individually contained. Every week there's a new tournament, so you can really just do whatever you want. Train new members, try out new builds, do the weird stuff that you think might work out in some form or fashion in competitive play, but you're not quite sure, and you haven't really been able to test it out well in skirmishes. That sort of stuff it works out well for. The Tranquil Tea, the Pinprick, the Ansia, and the Maestrale. Maestrali? Man, I should know how to pronounce that, but sometimes you guys pick the ship names which just... I don't get it. I don't get it. Just make it simple. Make it boat. This one flies. This shoots guns. That sort of stuff. Those are easy to say. All right. Still waiting for 404 to ready on up. Let's see what we have here on the side of the Gents. We got a Lumberjack. Oh, no, sorry. That's a Watcha. I saw that, and that looked like a Lumberjack to me. I don't know why. Okay, that's a Watcha. And, well, we'll get to the other ships in a moment, as the 404 team has decided to, in fact, ready on up. So we are going to get started here in match number 1 between the T-Timers and 404 Clan in this Sunday community skirmish. Number 19, thank you very much for being here. Of course, once again, guys, I imagine we have no co-caster today because everybody bailed out and was not available. But that's okay. It actually allows our Russian stream to get 2 casters in for a change. So that's great for them. All right, we are going to get a quick rundown of ships here on the Tranquil T. Captained by Swiftpaw. We've got a Hwacha up front with a Gatling on one side and a Carronade on the other. And on the pinprick, we have a Gatling Mortar Metamidion captained by Zingy Zhao with a Flamethrower and a Flare Gun on the side. And on the Ansia, captained by Log Halley, we've got a Artemis Carronade. That's an interesting combination with a Flamethrower and a Flare Gun on the side as well. And on the Mistrelli, we've got a Gatling Mortar up front with a Flamethrower and a Flare Gun on the side. So that Flamethrower, Flare Gun side on those Pyramidions definitely look like, they're favored for these teams. And there are flares going down literally everywhere, lighting up this Parrot Rumble sky, with Tranquil T and Pinprick getting seen out here almost immediately. I'm going to start getting hit by the Artemis of the Ansia. We'll see who Tranquil T turns on. But Ansia is getting in too close to Pinprick. And here comes a Pinprick with that Gat Mortar smashing off. The Ansia is going to try to go after the Tranquil T. Pinprick actually takes a bad bounce there. Gets turned off from front. Now, in the meantime, Ansia does take a lot of damage as the Hwacha for the Tranquil T just absolutely obliterated its side. Tranquil T trying to back up here. Pinprick trying to keep his friend from getting under too much fire, as the Pinprick is still taking fire on the Mistrelli. Might actually go down right here. Oh, that's huge. Hwacha barrage knocking out also some stuff on the Mistrelli, and that allows the Pinprick to get the first kill on the Ansia. That clutch Hwacha fire there from the Tranquil T, taking out the front guns of the Mistrelli, allows the Pinprick to destroy the Ansia for a 1-0 lead here. But this is not over yet, as Mistrelli taking a lot of damage now. That mortar comes raining on in, and they will get taken down. So the Gents start off with a 2-0. And that was that went very badly for them at the start, as the Pinprick had Ansia in its sights and then just took a bad bounce and had to turn all the way around. But Tranquil T getting some clutch Hwacha shots off there. Managed to rescue his teammate and allowed his team to pick up quick 2 early kills. So 404 team Ansia and Mistrelli going to respawn in the corner here, lick their wounds a little and get back to it. Now, they did do a decently good chunk of hull damage to the Pinprick, which is going to allow them to be able to take that ship down pretty quickly. I don't know if they know just how much damage they actually did to that team or not. So maybe they'll gun for the weaker goldfish once more. It looks like the Ansia is pretty much just going to be trying to take care of the goldfish with that Carronade, with that Artemis. Using that Artemis to knock out the front gun, using that Carronade to knock out the balloon, because that one like Carronade against a Pyramidion isn't going to do a whole lot. But the problem is the Ansia is actually getting way ahead of the Mistrelli and is just caught out here by himself, getting smashed immediately by the Pinprick. Now, this is just terrible time for Ansia, who's already gotten his armor knocked down. It takes a huge gob of perma-hull damage there and gets a couple of front guns knocked out. But the Mistrelli now charging on in, getting into the Pinprick's side. Will the Pinprick be able to repair himself? Ansia is also gonna get a ram kill, maybe. That was hard to tell. The Pinprick may have gotten that kill again, but now I think he might just go down here. But those mortars, oh, just a couple of needed to connect. Finally, some of them do. And so the Mistrali at least picks up 1 kill here for 404. The Tranquility is actually going to take a bounce off this building, but so is the Mistrali. And the Tranquility has got to be careful here. You do not want to be staring down the barrel of a Gat mortar. And that Watcher Barrage, unfortunately, does not a whole lot. A lot of it gets shrugged into the balloon, but oh, that actually manages to take out the front guns with those final shots. Mistrali actually gets a nice bounce, gets a nice ram on Tranquility, and the Ansia has actually come charging back in here. Pinprick is a little bit further behind. Tranquility might just get taken down here as these two Pyramidions just ravage the Tranquility. Mistrali went in for the ram. Missed, but doesn't matter as the Tranquility was already bouncing around buildings, and Ansia will pick up that kill. There's a little bit of a bad engagement to start off there for Ansia and the Mistrali as they came charging way too far ahead. Paid the price with the Ansia getting taken out, but as I had mentioned before, the Pinprick had already had so much damage done to him that even though the Mistrali was taking a lot or missing a lot of that mortar fire, didn't need to hit too many of them. I think like a couple of mortars did it, and then it was just a matter of getting a nice ram on the Tranquility, and Ansia came rushing back into the fight, finished it off, and 404 team. Even though they're not doing that, they're down by a kill. They still definitely have a chance in here now. As the Mistrali and the Pinprick collide here, and I think the Mistrali is actually going to collide with a building. No, they just managed to get over it, and Pinprick is getting hit here a lot. And there's a little bump on the Mistrali, allowing the Pinprick to go up and above. And now the Ansia is actually going to get double gatted here, and unfortunately, the Tranquility is actually looking the wrong way, and that's going to leave the Ansia to shoot into the back of that Goldfish Mistrali. Oh my, that's a huge Watcher Barrage, knocking out everything on the Mistrali, and now Ansia is actually being blocked here by the Mistrali, but will get his shots off onto Tranquility. Looks like Pinprick is going to pick up the Ansia. Mistrali trying to work on the Pinprick. In the meantime, this is just total mayhem here as every ship is shooting at everybody else. Mistrali bouncing around on that building. Ansia trying to get in here and get the balloon of the Tranquility just blended down repeatedly. Has been able to do so, but the Pinprick has actually gone over the Mistrali and is actually going to fire down at the Ansia, and Ansia might just get taken down here. Not quite yet. The nose of the Pinprick going to come and finish off that job as the Ansia just not able to keep themselves alive. They were doing a good job of keeping the Tranquility down, but the Mistrali just did not have a good beat, was not able to maneuver around these buildings well enough, and that allowed the Pinprick to go right past and pick up the Ansia, saving his own teammate and getting the kill. Now Pinprick gonna come in on the Mistrali. Mistrali gonna back on up, but of course he can go faster forwards than backwards. Gatling mortar fire going at between these two. The Pinprick really wants to say they might just get it. They do. Oh my God! They actually finished this game off. I thought the Mistrali was going to just back on up and maybe go down in between the buildings, but no. The Tranquility and the Pinprick pick up that final kill, though really it was just a Pinprick pick up the final kill on the Mistrali, and they do go up 1-0 in this best of 3. The T-Timers do. The Gents go on ahead. 404 came back a little bit in that match, but just not able to get the correct bounces for them in those map in that map. T-Timers will in fact pick up win number 1. We're gonna go to match number 2 in a second here. I don't quite know what the map rule is supposed to be. Looks like it will be Battle on the Dunes, and that means we will not have to remake this lobby. Now, of course, Battle on the Dunes, Parent Rumble probably as different maps as you can possibly get. Parent Rumble, lots of debris to hide behind, lots of close range battles, while Dunes is going to be incredibly spread out. You've got very little stuff to hide behind. You've got almost no debris whatsoever to hide behind. And so, while Parent Rumble often devolves into these close range battles that we've seen, Battle Dunes is usually the opposite. Usually you'll have a lot longer range. You know, you'll have a lot of Artemis, you'll have a lot of Mercury, maybe you'll have some Lumberjacks. You rarely get that sort of close range matchups that you see on something like Parent Rumble. .404 is going to have to search deep into their arsenal here and see what they can pull out. Let's see, what do we got going on so far? They still have the same loadout. I expect that very much to change. Unless for some reason they decided to keep this all the same. That'd be a very interesting choice. I would love to see that. I would love to see a little bit more brawliness going on Battle on Dunes. You know, these long-range sniping matches can get a little bit dull at times. Of course, if you're ever playing in one of these matches and you get into a competitive game where there is a lot of long-range sniping going on and you're like engineering or even gunning or piloting for that matter, if you're really doing anything, it is rough, man. It is definitely not a fun